I understand you don't want the backlash from Mythic Talent or the other guy, but I find your reluctance to stand up for yourself disappointing. I mean, I'm not worried about Mythic Talent. No, hey, no. Don't delete his Plazuka. No. Don't delete his stuff. Plazuka is he was responding to some of the stuff.
Take this.
It's okay. I'll chat with Plazuka. I'm a part owner of Mythic Talent, so like they can't like fire me. They can't like get rid of me really. And the thing is like they know how Tectone is, so it's fine. It is what it is. We've talked and we said we're gonna move on, and I can't stop all the little sidlings from saying shit. I would like to address, you know, Shinya and some of them people, because I feel like they're bordering on like almost like slander levels of stuff, right? Because if they're saying MTash was plotting this for 4 years and he's just been jealous and waiting for this downfall, that's not fucking true. And but they're putting that out there and putting a video out there and like painting my character that way. So they're bordering in on some like slander level comments. But how many fucking people in the world are even going to see that slander? Like, I don't fucking care. It's not going to change anything. I'm going to move into a different game eventually. Like, it is what it is. I'm not... I made mistakes going public with it in the sense of, like, I could have had more tact. I'm fine with the outfall. I'm fine with how everything plays out. It really isn't that big of a deal to me.
That's a video that I've been holding on for about 2 months. I went into MTash chat soon after the drama between Tectone, Hexjuice, and here's the reality. MTash said it wouldn't affect him. And I'm not sure what his bottom line is or how he does his sponsors. And I know his YouTube videos are probably fine. But the reality is, it does hurt him. It did hurt him. And he's not the only one affected by this Tectone curse. But let's just show the stats. This happened in July. Okay? And I can't go into specifics as to how much MTash has streamed, what games MTash has streamed, how many sponsors he's had. But what I can show is that he's had 2 negative months in a row, and it most likely, even though he's been on the incline overall, it has been a tremendous decline in the last 2 months. One could say because of essentially the, windfall of the Tectone curse. This is what happens to every Tectone creator that basically goes up against Tectone. They always lose, and he's always in control. So even if you tried to take a different approach with Tectone, it would rarely work because he would circumvent your choice to try to get the upper hand if he felt like that was possible. So let's say you did take it private. And if he felt, because of his paranoid schizophrenia, that you were able to eventually resolve these issues, or if there was something that's ever going to come out, he then decides to, basically release your chats to show how much of a better person he is or whatever else, and then throw you under the bus even though you try to do the right thing. There is no winning with Tectone is what I'm trying to say. And these just show that once you go up against Tectone, you automatically lose, especially if you're a member or part of the organization. And so the video obviously is entitled Tectone Will Be Leaving OTK. And let me just tell you why Tectone is not leaving OTK right now. And here's partly why.
Right. And for anybody, forced, you can just quit. No, I cannot. I cannot just quit. That is not what my contract will let me do.
So he said contractual obligation. He's contractually obligated through OTK to not quit the org. He's been paid out a sum of money, not by Asmongold, okay, not by people that you know. This is different people that have investors in secret dealings and all these other things that they pay these streamers to basically do their bidding. and they were paid handsomely. Let's watch this most recent video as it pertains to Camp Knut, but more specifically, it actually kind of, sort of, explains a lot of who Tectone is, unfortunately.
All right. Anybody? This is the clip that Wake's pissed at.
Was given to you in that amount to essentially mitigate this from happening.
Which is what?
Yeah.
Guys, we're not going to kick off tech.
And so I just want to make this very clear. The preface to this, what the other individual here was saying, is that Tectone was given some money for this particular, OTK or Camp Knut summit, right? And here's the reality.
Tectone's a friend. He was a part of the first Camp Knut. He was complaining about losing money in streams to the camp at some point too. I mean it. Fucking quit.
Right. Right. Complaining about losing money to streams. There is no point where it's not controversy, it's not drama, it's not worth talking about regarding Tectone. Well, I don't know what that is. I'm not going to speculate here as to why that is, other than the fact that it exists.
Sure.
Nothing is going to make me less fucking empathetic towards any single one of my friends' struggles than hearing them talk about losing fucking money when they are swimming in an embarrassment of riches for no fucking reason at all. I don't give a fuck.
Sure. Yeah, nor was I expecting anybody to give a fuck. That being said, I do think it's a little bit odd where streamers are opting to do Camp Knut, completely obliterating their streaming schedule, and getting pretty much nothing back for it other than just working out. Because I'm going to continue work out after. It is what it is. Camp Knut will be over in 7 days, and I'll be on my way on my own little island.
And full disclosure, shortly after this actual clip, Tectone basically says that he's over leveraged. He has a new house. He has things in the stock market. And he's not as rich as anybody implies. That's why he is, being the, petty ass bitch that he is about, greedy, complaining about having to do this instead of streaming, which he wouldn't even stream anyway. We saw what he did before Camp Knut actually began. He was barely streaming any of the games, Wither and Waves, Honkai Star Rail, Genshin. He's done. He's done with those because he cannot stand in that community anymore without being called out for the hypocrite that he is, period. And to further just kind of like talk about this issue about just OTK and them not taking him seriously and him, probably going to be fed up with it within the next 12 months. Here is this clip that basically shows another example recently. Basically just disrespect.
I'm really not worried about that, right? But, I heard that, Nick had a pretty bad chat experience. And let's go over it right here.
But drama, crazy drops, all this sort of stuff in the title too, just to get it going.
Yep.
How about that?
There we go. I agree. Okay, here we go.
What is this? Oh, is this the drama that they were talking about in the Discord? Fuck it, I got nothing else to talk about today. Let's spin it up.
This is my... And I give people content. You're welcome. My opinion. I agree some people might have thought that was funny. Might have been cool. But for me, when I'm not focused on being funny, I'm more focused on instilling good habits amongst a viewer perspective and the people who are a part of Camp Knut.
Yeah.
I think showcasing basketball makes sense. Yeah. We'll play basketball. Swimming.
What happened to the mic?
Makes sense. We'll swim. I don't think anybody here is going to become a pole dancer.
Oh.
How did anybody get upset over that clip?
Oh, does he know he got muted?
And he gets muted. And that's just like complete disrespect. And it was the cameraman that did it. The cameraman that basically started the controversy about requiring Tectone to show up to do some pole dancing, which I haven't even looked at to see what that's all about. But again, it's just not being taken seriously, being treated as a joke, and being dismissed over and over again. And Tectone's going to play it down to the extent that he has to in order to continue to have the reputation that he is this big bad wolf, that he is this big, prominent person in the OTK, when in reality, unfortunately, he is on the lower totem pole And for someone that, is his personality, he's not going to settle for that, nor should he settle for that. And everything that I have for criticisms of Tectone, I don't think anybody deserves that kind of treatment. So it's inevitable, but he'll go on and say that basically this is not an issue. So here's that clip.
It's a very small issue being blown up into unbelievable sizes.
And lastly, we started this video with basically MTash, but when we started with Tectone, he basically said he was under contract to go to these places. This is a clip of him saying that he's not. He's corrected himself. And let me be very clear. There are NDAs everywhere in the contract space. So I think potentially, speculatively, I do not know this definitively, I think that some of these things are under NDA and he cannot speak of them, and this is him trying to correct it. But do I honestly believe that he's under contract with OTK or Camp Knut or some form or another? Of course I do. And do I think they're under NDAs? Of course it is, because it has millions and millions and bonuses involved in it, and nobody wants to speak on about it because they just want the status quo to continue, for these content creators to continue to dispose their brand so that people buy their content and watch them, and so that these investors and then also the content creators make money.
Oh, by the way, for the whole legal obligation, contractual obligation thing, that's a joke. I'm not legally or contractually obligated to do anything. Right? There's no contract. There's no legal obligation. That was just memes.
Tectone is a uniquely toxic individual. Not entirely his fault. It's the content creation space. It's the people in the OTK organization that makes it as toxic as it is. But for whatever reason, Tectone is not going to potentially mesh well with these individuals in the long term, especially with all the drama and just the egg on the face, no pun intended, for the eggies out there regarding Tectone. I just don't see him staying with OTK, and I don't think that'll, involve Asmongold. Asmongold loves Tectone. Asmongold, I believe, is Tectone's biggest supporter, in my opinion, and probably the reason why he's still in the organization currently, other than for contracts or for whatever other reason. So watch this space, but I'm pretty certain that that's going to happen within a year. But at the same time, I can't say that definitively by law, legally. So we'll see where this goes. My name is Luzuka. If you like this content, like, subscribe. We'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.